Good afternoon and welcome to this very special afternoon edition of Mrs. Gallagher's News. Today I hope to uncover the truth about who is the founder of Melbourne. Joining me this afternoon I have
John Pascoe Fawkner.
Thank you, John Fawkner. And I have with me?
We say it, John Batman.
Thank you, John Batman. These two gentlemen are continuously arguing, fighting and debating because both of them believe that they are the rightful founder of Melbourne. Let's explore it a little bit more. Thank you. Okay, John Fawkner. John Fawkner was born in...
1702.
Thank you. You were born in 1792. Thank you, John Fawkner. And John Batman, when were you born?
1801.
Thank you. You were born in 1801. Now, both of these men were actually living in Tasmania. And at the time, Tasmania was called Van Diemen's Land.
It was.
Now, Van Diemen's Land was a land of people. There were farms, there were convicts, there were settlers. It was a busy and bustling place. And people started thinking we need to find somewhere new. We need to expand and find new villages. Now, as you can see from this map here, the water between Tasmania and mainland Australia is called the Bass Strait. Now, John Fawkner and John Batman, they had been hearing news from whalers and sealers. That's people that killed whales and seals. They'd heard news about this amazing land that could be found just on the other side of the ocean.
Very good news.
Very good news. And I guess that's when the race began. The race to see who would make it to the other side of the ocean first. Now, John Batman, what was the name of your ship?
The Rebecca.
Your ship was called the Rebecca. Okay, and John Fawkner, what was your ship called?
Enterprise.
Your ship was called the Enterprise. Okay, both of the gentlemen set about getting a crew, grabbing some family members, and commenced to set sail for the shores of what we now know as Melbourne today. John Batman, were you on board your ship, the Rebecca?
No, yes, I
John
was.
Batman, yes you were, John Batman. So John Batman, on May the 29th of 1835, Rebecca, the ship and all of the crew set up base camp. They finally reached what we call Melbourne today and they set up their base camp. Okay, that was amazing. While this was going on, John Fawkner was still back in Van Diemen's Land, Tasmania. John Fawkner, when did your enterprise actually come to Melbourne and set up their base camp? August 30th, is that correct? Of 1835. Now, John Fawkner, I do have a question. Were you actually on board the ship?
I was not.
You were not on board. Where were you?
I was in Van Diemen's Land, paying some bills.
You were back in Van Diemen's Land, back in Tasmania, paying some bills. Now, nonetheless, both men, John Fawkner eventually did come to the shores of Melbourne. Now, John Batman, what's something that you did on the 16th of June in 1835?
I went looking for the Aboriginal people I saw back at home in Van Diemen's Land.
So in Van Diemen's Land, you'd met some Aboriginal people and you knew there would be some in Melbourne. So you set about and you bought them something called a treaty. You asked them to sign something. And what did you want to do?
I was hoping for some land I could have.
You wanted to buy the land off them, and what did you give them in exchange for this land?
Some ribbons, scissors,
some ribbons and
flowers,
scissors.
bits and pieces like that.
So as you can see here, the treaty on the 16th of June 1835 saw John Batman, I guess, acquire or take the land of Melbourne from the local Aboriginal people. However, I should say 1 year later, when the governor found out that John Batman had signed this treaty, he said, well, that is just rubbish. That's just rubbish. And that's going to be thrown in the bin now because this land, all of Australia, belongs to the Queen. Now, at this time, John Fawkner, what were you busy doing?
I was making a hotel.
Okay, John Fawkner built the first hotel in Melbourne, and that's somewhere near the Flinders Lane and the William Street. John Batman, what were you busy doing?
I made the first house in Melbourne.
Okay, John Batman built the first house in Melbourne, somewhere near Flinders Street and Spencer Street. John Batman, do you think you contributed much towards Melbourne, or did you die shortly after arriving?
I died shortly after arriving.
John Batman, unfortunately, yep. So 4 years after signing that treaty that ended up being thrown in the bin, John Batman died. John Fawkner, did you actually do anything good for the city of Melbourne?
I did.
What did you do?
I helped create the actual city.
You did. You helped create the actual city with your friends, Mr. Hoddle, Mr. Lonsdale, Mr. Latrobe. You helped organise the street, the layout, I believe you became a politician. You helped fight for people's rights and help people that were disadvantaged and needed help. Is that right?
And you also may see Latrobe and Hobble, I think.
Yes, we've spoken that they were your friends already. Fantastic. John Fawkner, I believe you also purchased large amounts of land in the inner northern Melbourne that's now called nowadays Pascoe Vale and Fawkner. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
So do you agree that you had a good life and you did a lot for Melbourne? You do. Fantastic. So, children watching, hopefully that helps answer the question about who founded Melbourne. And the answer is...
Me.
Oh, for
Me.
goodness sake.
Me.
It sounds like that
Me.
we still haven't answered the debate about who is the true founder of Melbourne, and I doubt we ever will. Thank you for listening.